G'day everyone and welcome to another video. In this video we leave the Northern Territory and move into Western Australia and make our way down to Lake Argyle. Set ourselves up in the caravan park there, and whilst there we have a swim in that infinity pool. One of the coldest pools in Australia we're hearing about, but very enjoyable time there. And from Lake Argyle we move on to Cananara and we have a look at Kelly's Knob Lookout, and as well as that we go out and do that Ivanhoe Crossing. From Cananara we make our way out to Wyndham, but not before having a look at the Grotto on our way out to Windham. So much to see up in this neck of the woods, and hope you enjoy the video. I'm Mick and this is Sally. Together we've been caravanning Australia since the 1980s, and more recently we started to put the videos together just to show you some of what we see out there. There's a lot to see in Australia and we hope you enjoy what we have here to show you. Joining us on the big lap with their own van are our good friends Michael and Janice. You can follow us on our trips via the following social media platforms. Today was going to be the day that we were going to leave the Northern Territory and do that border crossing into Western Australia. But first, as we went across the border, we had the fruit fly check to go through. Like a lot of travellers, when you do a border crossing, you got to get that iconic photo shoot with the vehicle by the border sign. It was all good at the border crossing. The inspectors were quite happy with what we were doing and what we were carrying, and not the first one that we've been through of course, so we knew what we had to do. With our border inspection now complete, our next destination was going to be Lake Argyle. As we made our way over this bridge here, it was quite a surprise to us that find the road in such a condition that it was in for the amount of traffic that must go over it. We thought it would have been a better highway. As we follow the road that takes us to Lake Argyle, it becomes quite a scenic drive. Good morning everyone, and we are here at the Lake Argyle Resort, and we're booked into the caravan park in the unpad section. Quite a big caravan park this one, but already booked out, but never mind, we're here for 2 nights. Being in the unpad section wasn't an issue for us at all, but a lot more room on the sites than what there were in most of the pad sites. As already mentioned, it is a big caravan park this one, and if you want to stay in the Lake Argyle area, it is really the only option you've got because there are no dedicated free camps within this region. In reality, the caravan park has got camping that would suit all styles and all preferences. For anyone that knows this area or has done any research, I think we've all heard of the infinity pool, and that was one of the main reasons that we wanted to stay overnight here, and that was to have a swim in the pool. Anyone that we've ever spoken to about this swimming pool, they all got the same opinion, and that's it's one of the coldest pools that they've ever swam in, and believe me, it was fairly cold. Lake Argyle is Western Australia's largest and Australia's second largest freshwater man-made reservoir by volume of water. The construction of the dam was completed in 1971 and the dam was officially opened the following year. The dam wall is 335 metres long and 98 metres high. The reservoir is part of the Ord River irrigation scheme and is located near the East Kimberley town of Cananara. Tourists can drive across the dam wall here, and that will take you down to a boat launching area, and if you go a little bit further it will take you onto a grass picnic area. There is a hydroelectric power station at the base of the dam wall, and that has 4 turbines with a generating capacity of 13 megawatts of electricity. From the Lake Argyle wall, the Ord River system flows down past the town of Cananara. From Lake Argyle, our next stop was going to be the town of Cananara. It was only a short drive into Cananara from Lake Argyle, but that gave us plenty of time to go down to the shops here in Cananara and do a bit of shopping before we arrived at the caravan park. Good morning everyone, and we are here at Cananara and we've booked into the Lily Lagoon Resort, and 3 nights. And whilst we're here we'll catch up with Greg and Vicky. I actually went to school with Greg and he's from Adelaide. He's up here doing voluntary work. Both him and Vicky are doing that, and as well as that Sarah down at the local butcher shop here. She's asked us to say hello if we're in the area, so we'll make sure we do that. But looking forward to our 3 days here. It is only a small caravan park, this one. We have stayed here before, and for the duration of this trip it was booked out on most nights. This caravan park has fairly large sites for each caravan, and as well as that it's got some very beautiful grassed areas. The caravan park does have a cafe, and we believe you can have meals there, although we didn't have a meal whilst we were there, but never mind, and that is located alongside the swimming pool. Kununurra is well known for its Ivanhoe Crossing, and it was there today that we're going to go out and drive across the crossing. Should you ever be out at this crossing and see people walking out on the crossing itself, or even out there fishing, never do that unless you've got some sort of protection against crocodiles, which hasn't been invented yet because they are man-eaters and it's very dangerous to do so. Having had a good look around, it was time to jump in the car and do that water crossing. It's a relatively easy crossing, this one. It's just a matter of going down the middle of the road inside those guideposts as you see here, keeping your wits about, and hopefully nothing will go wrong. Once you get across the main part of the river, you get to this dry section, and then for another short water crossing you come to this one. A little bit of a bump where there's a washout in the middle of it, but nothing hard to contend with. Once we got through this water crossing, we drove a short distance and did a U-turn ready to start to come back, but I believe there are camping areas that you can camp on the Ord River on the other side. But as we started to come back to that water crossing again, we came across these goats. Quite unusual, or a bit of a surprise to see them. They were domesticated goats because they all had ties around their neck with bells. With all the goats safely on their way, it was time to head back to the other side of the Ord River. We have visited Cananara a number of times in the past, and we've come out and had a look at the Ivanhoe Crossing, but for some reason we've never driven across it, so after today there's one more item ticked off the bucket list. Once we'd returned back over the Ivanhoe Crossing, Michael and Janice decided that they would go across as well. Once Michael had driven across to the other side of the Ivanhoe Crossing, it was a quick driver change, and then Janice drove the vehicle back. It's not a deep crossing, this one, by any means, and should it be flowing too fast, then the authorities actually close the road off and no vehicles are permitted to cross the crossing at all. Not very far back towards Cananara from the Ivanhoe Crossing is the Zebra Rock and Stonecraft, and we thought we'd go in there and have a look just to see what was on offer. Once inside and you start to look at what's been done with the Zebra Rock, it's quite incredible the things that they can make out of it. The pieces that we're looking here range from something that's small to something like this crocodile that's very large and no doubt very heavy to pick up. The Great Northern Highway takes you across the dam wall, and there was a couple of points of interest that we're going to go across there and have a look at today. As you head west after going over the dam wall, you can do a right hand turn and that will take you down to the Ord River as we're going now, and then you'll finish up at this lookout that will allow you to look at the dam wall. From the lookout, we head back over the dam wall and do a right hand turn, and we come to a location called Swim Beach. The area known as Swim Beach is quite a large area, and it's set up as a picnic area, big grassed area, plenty of Boab trees, and ideal to come down. They say you can swim here, obviously it's called Swim Beach. I'll leave that up to you whether you want to swim there or not, because there are crocodiles out there, freshwater crocodiles apparently, but not for me. There are a number of walking tracks that you can do, but whilst we were there, we chose to do the Kelly's Knob walking track. I may be wrong in saying this, but I think the Kelly's Knob Lookout walking track has got two parts, and the part that we're in now is what I'm going to call the lower section, and that takes you back towards the town immediately from the car park, and that's a very, very short walk that takes you up here, and that'll allow you to look out over the town. The second part of that lower walk is here as we go up these rocks. It's a little bit uneasy on the feet, but it is manageable, and that allows you to look over the other part of the town. While we were standing there at the lookout, one of the Air Force aircraft did a bit of a flyby. What I would call the second part of this walk is to the top of the hill that we're looking at now, and the red arrow there points to our destination. The walk that takes you up to the top of the Kellick Knob lookout is approximately 1.2 kilometres round trip return, and at times it can be challenging with some of the steps. As we slowly make our way to the top, we get some very scenic lookouts as we look down across the town of Cananara. At times it can be a very steep climb as we make our way to the top. One final set of steps, and once that's conquered, you're up top and you get a 360-degree view of the area, and of course that takes you right around Cananara. With our time now being over in Cananara, it was time to move on and start to make our way towards Wyndham. As we travel each day up here, we quite often comment about how we've been so lucky with the weather, and another nice day, and we find this turn off here that's going to take us out to the Grotto. It's a location that we've never been to before. It's only a short walk that's going to take you down to the base of the Grotto, but the biggest challenge of that is the 144 steps that follow the side of the cliff down. And here we are, when you see that marker there, that's where the steps start that will take you down to the floor, and a lot of people, including us, found that very difficult to find. It's a slow and steady climb down all those steps, and once you manage to get around all the stonework and rocks, you're rewarded with quite a spectacular view down the bottom. Although never proven, the water depth here has been suggested to being at least 100 metres in depth. It wasn't until we did a bit of research for this area, even though we'd been up here before, you just can't assume that you know what is in the area everywhere. So after a bit of research we found out about the Grotto, and we're so pleased that we did. It's a very spectacular place to come and have a look at. It was actually the information centre at Kununurra that alerted us to the Grotto, and with a brochure that they gave us and the follow-up research that we did do, had it not been for that, we would have driven straight past this, not knowing it even existed. After our visit to the Grotto, it was back on the road and heading towards Wyndham. One of the things that you do see when you drive into Wyndham is the big Crocodile, and we pulled over and had a look, and very huge indeed, one of those big things that you'll find around Australia. The Crocodile is a total of 20 metres in length and 3 metres in height. From the Crocodile, it was onto the Wyndham Caravan Park. G'day everyone, we're currently at Wyndham and just checked into the Caravan Park. We're here for one night. and off again in the morning. But oh, that grotto that we had look on the way here, wasn't that a beautiful sight? So looking forward to seeing more of that as we go down south. So here for one night. I had read favourable reviews on this caravan park. We could have come into Wyndham, had a look at the Crocodile and gone up to the Five Rivers Lookout and continued on, but due to the reviews that I had read, we thought we'd stay here for one night. The caravan park has supposedly the largest Boab tree in Captivity, and when you look at this fella, it is huge, and the camera very shortly, just starting now, will span back and you'll see the vehicles down on the ground, and that'll give you some sort of perspective of exactly how high it is. This smelt like pesticide being sprayed. We weren't quite sure why, but quite effective to look at. We're now making our way to Windham Port, and that was once the main town of Wyndham, but it was moved in 1968 because the town struggled to expand due to tidal flats at both ends of the main street. As we walk out onto the pontoon at the boat ramp, it's notably very long, and that must be for the reason being of the very vast high tides and tidal movement that they get up here from low tide to high tide, and of course the water's so brown because of that fast moving water. From our walk out on the pontoon at the boat ramp, we thought we'd take a walk out and have a look at the newly constructed town jetty. The part that we're walking on now allows the jetty floating pontoon to go up and down, and that's due to the vast height differences in tide, and you can see the water here as it's going around one of the pylons, making a bit of a whirlpool, illustrating how fast the water does move in and out. The Windham Port is a very industrialised port and certainly well worth a visit should you ever come up to the area. When in Wyndham, one of the must things to have a look at, and that's the Five Rivers Lookout. From the top of this lookout, you get views of the Ord, the Forest, the King, the Durack and the Pentecost rivers, where they combine and enter the Cambridge Gulf. The large mudflaps that we see in the distance here, how often they get covered I don't know. If anyone does know, leave a comment down below. Very interested to find out. Well, that's the end of this video, and hope you've enjoyed it. And in the next one, we'll commence that one at the Bungles, where we're set up to go to the Bungles. So until that video goes up, you take care and look after yourself.